how would you create propulsion without the medium?
Okay. Think logically about this. I'm sitting in a chair that's a rolling chair. It's an office chair with wheels. Okay. If I have a bowling ball and I threw that bowling ball away from me right now, the chair would roll backwards. Okay. That
But you're
happens.
not. You have. First off,
Yeah.
please. I don't mean to cut you off because you can do it to me the next time. I'll give you one because I did just cut you off. So you have to create this. Like I get what you're saying, but you have to create this in the air. So you can't do this while the chair is connected to the ground. You have to have a theory that the chair is in the air and you're throwing. I mean, I don't know how you do that. You'll be in the air with the chair, and then you have a bowling ball and throw it. That's how you have to create that
Why?
equation
Why do
or
I have to
that
be in the air? Why do I have to be in the
because
air?
that's space that represents space. You're in space, so space, there's no
Mm-mm.
ground. If okay, so if you're saying
You
your
guys are so funny, man. I love listening to you
your
guys talk about physics.
your theory space,
I'll
would
do it
you
in the air
agree?
for you. And then when I
You
do it in the air
can't.
for
It's
you, you're
impossible.
going to
It's
tell me I need to
impossible,
do it in
brother.
a vacuum, right?
It's
This is how the
impossible, brother.
goalposts move. You're going to
It's
tell me I need to
impossible,
do it in
brother.
a vacuum, right?
It's
This is how the
impossible, brother.
goalposts move.
What are you
Idea,
talking about?
idea. I can show you a video right now of a drone flying in the air shooting a gun. And I shit you not, they attached a gun to the drone. The drone gets pushed backwards from the recoil of the gun. That checks all your boxes. That's
Create
the
that.
bullet.
That wouldn't happen in a vacuum. You wouldn't even be able to
Okay,
create an
so that's
explosion
I,
in
know,
a
I
vacuum.
so I get it. That's the next goalpost move, but we're on the first goalpost move. Okay, so I told you a second ago. I just told you a second ago. When I showed you this in air, you change it to I need to do it in the vacuum, and you on script you did it. Okay, so I just want to
Mhm.
point that out to the audience. Watch
A
this
video
drone.
posted online showing shots being
Okay, you see
fired
the
from the
recoil?
drone has caught the attention of federal aviation officials.
Okay, now a rocket is the same thing, except it's a much longer controlled explosion. It's not one firing of one bullet. It's like a billion bullets coming out. Okay. That is pushing the bullet away from it, and it is being forced backwards by the propulsion of that bullet forwards. Those are opposite reactions. Okay. So all you need for a force is a mass and an acceleration. You have the bullet, which is a mass, being accelerated away from the drone.
Please tell me how you can create an explosion in a vacuum.
Okay.
You
First,
still
acknowledge
have
that
to.
I just answered your first question.
Yeah, and a pressure gradient. The Earth is. I mean, the Earth is
Bro,
pressurized. It's
you
not what.
need a psychiatrist.
Okay.
Force.
Yeah. What force?
Okay.
There's no force. There's a
This
vacuum.
is the
It's supposed to
rocket.
be.
This is the nozzle of the rocket. Okay.
Mhm,
The rocket's on this side going that way.
mhm.
If I create an explosion in here, okay, forget that you think an explosion can't happen in space, okay? Assume it can. If I create an explosion in here, which is what's happening on a jet engine, the
Mhm.
explosion has to come out this way because it can't go
It's
that
gonna
way,
go. It's gonna go. It's gonna
right?
push out, but it's gonna go every which way,
It's
which
good,
is gonna
right?
then flip that. It's gonna flip that
Right?
rocket. If that cup is a rocket, it's gonna flip it. It's not
No,
just gonna
hold
go
on,
straight.
hold on, hold
It's
on.
gonna flip it around like
Another
game
science
like you
denial
said.
thing, and this is going to go like this, right?
It
Okay,
is because air when gas is pushed out, it goes everywhere. It doesn't just go in
okay,
one way. It goes
okay.
everywhere.
So first off, you just agree that if there's an explosion, this is going to move.
Not, but it already told you it can't happen in space though. So
Oh,
if
why?
you want
So
to
what's
keep
the
going,
difference? What's the difference?
there's a so-called vacuum in space. This is what you guys
I,
say.
I
You know?
said assume you can have an explosion in space. You
Okay,
you
let's
do you
assume. If you
agree that
said
this
let's
cup would
assume,
still
let's
move?
imagine. You said let's imagine basically. Okay, let's imagine that you
Yeah,
can
let's
create an
let's
explosion in space.
assume an explosion can happen in space. Will this cup still move?
It will spin around. Yeah, it wouldn't.
Okay.
You don't. If you
Thank you.
created an explosion in space,
Thank you.
it would spin around. You wouldn't. You still have no medium to push off of.
Okay, but you just agreed that you can have thrust in space.
You can, even if you can create an explosion, you can't create a propulsion
I
without
thought
a
I
medium.
thought the cup would move.
That was the whole. That was the beginning. Was honestly. Was that not my first? Was that
I
not the
know, but we
first
walked you
thing that
baby
I
step all the
stated?
way to the point
Was
where you
that not
admitted
the
it.
first thing that I stated?
All right.
Was
no,
that
so
not the first thing that I stated?
that was
That
great.
was the very